Welcome back to HPL. We're about to have our first match of the night start between ek0p and Muzzy. Both of them about to take their first step and get their first win here in HPL. They are both have major wins in their career, so they're about to take their first step getting a major win here in HPL.
Yeah, a really big point in this match. Both of these guys started off with a loss, but this is a big turning point for them now. Kind of get off on that even footing. The last thing you want to do is start off 0-2 with all these matches ahead of you. You know, not the best feeling in the world, but again, plenty of time to bounce back afterwards for that. So in this matchup, I expect there to be some fireworks. Guys that can play anything they want. That's the way the HPL format works. Game 1 with ek0p and Muzzy is getting underway.
Yeah, neither one of them wants to start 0-2. Getting this first win is going to be big and huge for them. They want to get on the board. You know what? You want to get a little bit of that momentum going, too. And you're going to see this. ek0p's queuing up Warlock right away. We talked about this.
Yeah, seeing that Doomguard in there, this could still be a Zoo deck pretty easily. We see Dr. Boom and we see the Ironbeak Owl as well, so not exactly the greatest start in terms of opening hands. This could be something like a Void Caller, more mid-range focused Demon Lock deck, though, too. That's not out of the question. But Muzzy, this looks like a very traditional control deck with Baron Geddon and Shield Block in there. Yeah,
this might be a Warlock deck in the vein that Green Sheep played yesterday. We saw the Demon-centric Warlock deck come in, and then it looks like Muzzy's just going to be playing straight-up Control Warrior.
So we're going to have to see exactly how this game pans out. Already see a copy of Brawl. That could be a very key card in this matchup. ek0p still, everything's kind of open still a little bit. This could still very easily be Demon Lock. All these cards are very often found in Zoo as well, but we don't really get a tip until we see something that's kind of important.
Yeah, those are 2 Void Callers in his hand and a Power Overwhelming. I got to believe that this is the actual Demon-centered Warlock deck.
The next couple of draws are really going to give us insight into exactly what's happening. Oh, just going to start this way. Muzzy doesn't have Fiery War Axe.
Yeah, not having Fiery War Axe is pretty huge here. He's got 2 Void Callers already in play, and they're going to sit and play for quite a while now.
Yep, Imp Gang Boss. Still nothing given away here from this deck. All these cards are once again found in Zoo, but we haven't seen something like a Direwolf Alpha. We haven't seen like a Flame Imp. We haven't seen an Abusive Sergeant, any of those cards yet, so we don't know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, Muzzy's just going to continue to pad his life total here. Play a Shield Block. That's a pretty good draw. I got an Acolyte of Pain. Might be able to get something going a little bit this game because he hasn't really done much other than gain life this game, and ek0p continues to build a board presence.
So just kind of bouncing back and forth here for a moment. I have to, whoa, he's actually not going to go with Deathbite. That's a little bit interesting to me. This kind of tells me he maybe is looking for a bigger Brawl turn. And Knife Juggler, that to me will really spell a big difference here. At this point, I firmly believe this is a Zoo deck.
Yeah, this has to be a Zoo deck with Knife Juggler, you're right. And it looks like ek0p is going to actually kill off this Acolyte of Pain. I like this play a lot. It's safe against Brawl next turn. It doesn't allow him to get multiple draws out of his Acolyte of Pain. We've touched on a lot here in this tournament. If you can hold them to only 1 draw off their Acolyte of Pain, you're doing it right.
Yeah, we say safe from Brawl. He does have some minions in play that if they win the Brawl, I still think ek0p's totally fine with it. But the fact that this can kill off 4 minions for 5 mana, are you really getting that much of a better deal out of a card like this?
Not just that. What are his other options this turn, honestly? Fiery War Axe isn't great. Sludge Belcher's not great. I think you just have to Brawl here.
Yeah, Brawl here, it's just such a good turn. It's not like a great turn, but it certainly isn't a bad one. And very happy, I think, to see one of the weakest minions in play go ahead and win this. But ek0p, no shortage of gas to refill this board.
Yeah, ek0p's going to refill this board quickly and beautifully. It's nice that one of the minions that was left behind is immediately checked by Fiery War Axe for Muzzy's side, but ek0p's going to build up a huge offensive already here, just utilizing all of his mana beautifully this turn.
I think ek0p's very happy with the fact that it's a taunt minion that won this as well. Both of his Knife Jugglers protected from something like Fiery War Axe, protected from something like Deathbite. Not sure that he actually believes Muzzy has any of those cards, though, given how the game's panned out yet.
Yeah, Muzzy has literally done nothing but pad his life total until that Brawl this game, so you would have to believe that there weren't weapons in his hand, but Muzzy's played the turns just a little strangely, but I liked him just armoring up and then playing Brawl and not, revealing a weapon there. He got a lot of extra value out of his Brawl.
Yeah, just going to continue to go with, the life total plan as well. I certainly don't think it's a bad one at this point. He's got 2 copies of Shield Maiden. He's got a Shield Block. He's got 2 Sludge Belchers afterwards. This is a lot of work that ek0p's going to have to do to get through this life total.
Yeah, ek0p has got an uphill battle in his hands for the next couple turns. He already has 2 Doom Guards, which aren't bad. They're some of the better cards against Sludge Belcher that he can have in his deck, but this is going to be a very uphill battle. Muzzy is going to get a lot of board control and a lot of life over the next couple turns.
Yeah, you look at a position like this and you think to yourself, oh, it's so unfortunate that ek0p has drawn 2 Doom Guards. But, if that other Doom Guard was in his deck, it means there's a much less likely chance he's actually going to draw it. The fact that he's got 2 in his hand right now, it means that when he has 3 other cards in his hand when he plays a Doom Guard, that he has a 33% chance to have a second Doom Guard. And frankly, to me, that doesn't sound like that bad of a deal.
No, if you get 2 Doom Guards in play, you're generally winning with the Warlock deck. If you ever get 2 in one turn, you're probably winning that turn.
2 in one turn is, I don't think I've actually ever seen that happen before.
I think I've done it in Arena, never in an actual ranked game.
Void Caller, maybe in those situations I've seen it done. So Muzzy going to continue to leverage his life total a little bit. He's got plenty more behind. Armor Up's going to make sure that it continues to grow. And this Sludge Belcher really going to start to put the heat on ek0p now.
And you gotta wonder what was going through Muzzy's mind when he queued up this deck. He queued up a control deck round 1, game 1, knowing that he's being targeted as an aggressive player or could be targeted as an aggressive player in this tournament.
Yeah, maybe having a little bit of read on ek0p. You know, his control strategies didn't work out for him entirely in his first match. So maybe Muzzy is kind of looking into that and thinking to himself, you know what? I don't think ek0p's going to play those those control decks. I think he's going to go with aggro.
And here we see a big move in by ek0p. He's going to push for a ton of damage this turn.
Yeah, I have to believe this Flame Imp is going to chew through this 1-2 as well. It needs to keep as many threats as he can this turn. So 10 damage going to come crashing down on Muzzy, but you know, it's a matter of whether or not he can weather this board. He doesn't have something like Execute in his hand, doesn't have another Brawl or anything like that, so this could be enough pressure for ek0p to take this.
Yeah, big game hunter, not the draw that he wants here. Muzzy's going to have to gain a ton of life and possibly taunt up this turn just to survive next turn, and he might not be able to. We'll have to see what ek0p draws. He's going to get a lot of free draws for the rest of the game, too. His life total, not under pressure from Muzzy here. He's going to be able to leverage that hero power here and leverage his life total, you know, and use it to get card advantage here. Muzzy is in a bad spot.
Yeah, the board development is really the big story here. I mean, ek0p's got 14 points of damage on board, and Muzzy's sitting at 10. So this is a situation where the fact that he's just got these higher end cards in his deck, and not the utility cards necessarily that he wanted, it's really spelling a lot of trouble for him. Yeah. He had to use that Shield Slam early on and just a Knife Juggler. That's not the way you want to use a Shield Slam.
No, you're going to be using Shield Slam as a 1-mana rule spell for like their best creature most of the time now. Muzzy has a couple options this turn. He can Sludge Belcher and Armor Up. He can Shield Maiden and Armor Up, effectively gaining 7. But as you said, ek0p has so much power in play that this might not be enough to keep him out in this game.
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen 2 Power Overwhelmings gone. We've seen both the Doom Guards gone, so I'm not sure. I don't think he has something like Soulfire in this build. But you know, there are a string of draws that could still win this game if you drew, say, like Abusive Sergeant and Defender of Argus.
Yeah, Abusive Sergeant, Defender of Argus are some of his best draws here. They're some of the only burst damage that he has left since he's already, you know, had both Doom Guards, things like that. Now, Implosion.
That's an okay one.
Yeah, that was not terrible.
Now, something that is interesting to note here, though, is that he's going to run out of space on his board. So whether or not he wants to play this Haunted Creeper first, I mean, if he rolls 3 on this, unless he's trading into this Shield Maiden. So there's a 3, and it looks like he wants to push this this damage to face, but this Abusive Sergeant's going to have... The Abusive Sergeant's the one that has the option right now. Does he kill the Shield Maiden, or does he continue to push life total? He wants to protect his Doom Guard, protect his Nerubian, and then he's going to follow this up with the Haunted Creeper. So a ton of pressure that's on Muzzy right now, and outside of like a second Brawl, I don't see him being able to pull this out. And, I mean, there's so much damage on board. You know, there's not really many ways to keep himself alive. Again, 9, 12, 13, 14, 16 damage on the board for ek0p. I just don't... Like, where's it coming from? I don't see him surviving this turn.
Yeah, I was just doing a lot of counting, seeing if he could Cruel Taskmaster, the Fire Imp, play Shield Maiden, but it's just not going to be enough. He's still going to take too much damage.
Yeah, Sludge Belcher is the best way he can sit behind that. And then maybe Armor Up, so you go to 7, so...
he's going to Sludge Belcher, Cruel Taskmaster, the Fire Imp, and Armor Up here, leaving ek0p with 9 to 12.
4, 5. Looks like he's going to have 6 damage afterwards. So it needs 1 point of damage, actually, to end this game. So able to survive this turn, the Rubian Egg is no help. And Ironbeak Owl certainly is, though.
That is the top deck that ek0p was looking for to get through the Sludge Belcher and take an early 1-0 lead on Muzzy.
Yeah, there's a couple cards here I think that would have worked too. You know, second Implosion would have been fine. Abusive Sergeant would have been fine. Defender of Argus would have been fine. And of course the Ironbeak Owl. So there's plenty of ways for him to actually get this win out of his deck, and he had 2 draws to do it. And that's really one of the big stories of these aggressive decks. When they can get pressure and they can continue to follow it up, it's very tough to fight back from a position like that. And Warlock, one of the ones that's so exceptional at it, because when you don't put pressure back on the Warlock, they get to draw 2 cards a turn at basically no cost.
Yeah, Ironbeak Owl stealing wins for aggro decks versus control decks since day 1 of Hearthstone. Now, you hit the nail right on the head there. ek0p got to really leverage his life total that game since he was so far ahead and had such a high life total. He got to tap every turn there for the last 3 or 4 turns and just continue to get enough gas to push him through the defenses of Muzzy there and get the win.
Yeah, so Muzzy continuing to play strategies that are kind of against, what has traditionally worked for him, and those strategies haven't been working out very well so far. So kind of go back to the drawing board. Maybe he needs a couple extra tools in there to make sure he can get the job done. I think in that game, maybe he just drew too much of his top-end curve. I mean, a bunch of 5 and 6 mana cards were in his hand pretty early on. Didn't have a Fiery War Axe in the beginning. Deathspite wasn't played on turn 4, which was extremely surprising to me. And even despite the Brawl leaving one of ek0p's weakest minions in play, the double Knife Juggler to follow that up was enough pressure to snowball the game from there.
Now, guys, if you want to see Muzzy's career breakdown, see how he plays these aggressive decks and why he's winning with them, you can go to pvplive.net and see all of the statistical breakdowns. And we'll be right back in a couple minutes with Game 2 between Muzzy and ek0p. You're watching Hearthstone on PvP Live.